Oh man, more reporting live from the liquor store, man. How's everybody doing? And West Coast Cowboy will be joining us shortly. You know, it is contractually obligated for West Coast to be a couple minutes late to the show. But he got to make a he got to make a fashionable entrance. But we gonna rock out till my brother get in here with us, man. But in the meantime, y'all know the usual rules and regulations when you tap in with your independent content creators, man. First and foremost, when y'all come on here, we need y'all to hit the like button on all platforms. If you're on YouTube on my end, if you're on YouTube on West end, if you're on Facebook, I need y'all to go ahead and hit that like button. If you're on Twitch, hit that like button. Because first and foremost, the more likes that we get on this content, the more that these platforms will push the content and promote what we put out there. So you want to see the liquor store grow, you want to see West channels grow, you want to see us do good things over here on these platforms, hit the like button. It definitely helps us out with the algorithm, and it helps us out, man. It just helps us out immensely. After you hit that like button, I need y'all to turn right back around and hit that share button. Because first and foremost, I think I say this every time. Here you go. And hey, I was just telling them that you are obligated contractually to come in fashionably
Yeah.
late.
No, my hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, bro.
Yeah, okay, yeah, man. I told you my Wi-Fi is tripping over here, man. So and the Wi-Fi is tripping. We got hard line internet, man. We're having our considered California bad weather right now. So what's up?
What is considered California bad weather?
Come get it, huh?
So what is considered California bad weather?
Rain, 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 rain.
Oh shit. Yeah, hey, don't feel bad, man. Like, hey, me and you and landlord supposed to do a show the other day. My whole damn power was out. Man, they didn't get my stuff cut back on damn near midnight.
Yikes!
Yeah, that was
And how long was it out for?
bro. Like our show was like scheduled for what, like 6:30. It went out right before then. So shit, it was out for damn near 6 hours.
All the power.
All in the whole neighborhood.
Wow.
Like it's just black as hell over here. You know we live in the country.
Wow. That's crazy.
Crazy as hell. But what's up with everybody out there in Cowboys Nation, man? Danny Savage, Donnell Lamore, Craig Lofkin, Lee Harrison, what's up with you? Christopher Baggs, what's up with you? Funny man, Linto, what's good? Joshua Fisher, Peasy, what's up? Daniel Barrera, Sports Highlights, Michael Autry, Kelvin Hicks, Joe Tranchina. I know you're not here right now. I know you say I get up early, but thank you anyway. Michael Autry, Meek Phillips, Israel Madrid. Salute to everybody out there, man. Curtis, Travis Thompson, what's good with y'all, man? But Wes, what you feeling like? What you feeling like today, man? You know, we've been talking about all these damn defensive coordinators, all these guys supposed to be interviewing for the Dallas Cowboys position. It actually starts tomorrow. So in-house.
Hold on real quick. Kyron, there is no more video games. Let it go. Go. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you good, Kenfo. You're good. You're good. But now I was just saying, the interviews actually start. I know that we do not have a defensive coordinator as of today, but interviews for the position start tomorrow. So as it's been reported, the in-house interviews are going to take place. Let me see if this is the right one. No, that's not it. Anyway, the in-house interviews are supposed to take place tomorrow, which is Monday. So that guys like Joe Witt and Durden, who is the defensive line coach, will be interviewing. And then the guys outside of the building, Mike Zimmers, the Ron Rivera's, the Wink Martindales, they are supposed to interview on Tuesday. So out of that batch of names, right, out of those 5 names, which defensive coordinator are you leaning towards? Because I ain't gonna lie, the Dallas Cowboys, in terms of the people who are available, it's not like we're gonna get no young upstart, savvy guy with that's trying to make a name for himself. Because one, Mike McCarthy only has a year left on his contract, so odds are if things don't go well, they'll be coming to Dallas for a year. I don't think anybody wants that. So we got slim pickings. I knew just from the setup we're gonna have probably get a retread. So out of the retreads and the in-house guys that's already been indoctrinated, who do you think is the best? Your personal opinion.
Damn, bro, that's crazy that you said that Mike is on a 1-year deal. Like, we don't even know how he's going to perform under that pressure.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and listen, it's a double-edged sword. Jerry Jones is trying to put pressure on Mike McCarthy to perform this season by having his job hang in the air, but it also prevents you from signing a defensive coordinator that wants to be here long term. Like what young 20-something, 30-something year old DC trying to make a name for themselves is going to come to Dallas and possibly get fired from their first defensive coordinator job? Because that's what happens when the head coach get fired. They usually don't leave their coaches in place. If they get Bill Belichick or somebody else, Bill's going to have his own team of people. You know what I mean? So, like, it's very hard for me to imagine, like, a young, up-and-coming DC is going to come here and work for a man that's marked for death. You know what I mean? Like, Mike McCarthy.
That's basically what you would be.
Yeah, he a dead man walking. And if he a dead man walking, I'm a dead man walking. So that's the crazy thing about it. You really can't go out there and get no young buck. Like, and so guys like Mike Zimmer, guys like Mike Vrabel, guys like Ron Rivera, who don't really want to be here long term anyway, really, probably. Like Mike Vrabel, if you were to get him, he'd be a 1-year deal because he's trying to be a head coach next year. He's trying to be a head coach.
And you would probably have to promise somebody an opportunity to get that head coaching job. So that means in the low, they would want to. It's almost like a lame duck position this year, man, because ain't whoever gonna get it, man. Like, they gotta know that they're gonna have to interview for their job next year if Mike McCarthy don't keep the job.
Then Sean Kelly said, what about Al Harris? Al Harris said out of his mouth on an interview, I got this man caught in 4K right now talking, said he would follow Dan Quinn to Alaska. So let me play that real quick, just so we can not talk about Al Harris. Al Harris don't sound like he want to be here. So let me play that for you.
To go and get a head coaching job. Honestly, in whatever capacity he wanted me to come, I'm there. I'm there. It could be in Alaska. He could be coaching the Alaskan Bluebirds and call me, Al, I need you. I'm there.
Wow.
So
that's a strong endorsement, bro. That's a really strong endorsement. God damn.
That's what I'm saying, man. Al want to die with Dan Quinn. Ride or die. Alaska, my guy. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Al. If you don't want to be here, I'm not finna campaign for you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna campaign. I ain't gonna campaign for you if you don't want to be here. And you know, odds are he probably was gonna get the job no way, because Joe Witt was already the favorite to get the DC spot in Dallas, and Joe Witt may not be in Dallas because he's supposed to be first in line for the DC position over there in Washington.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to remember these positions all pay more too.
Mm-hmm.
So each one of these positions will come with more money too. And if Al Harris, it's the thing, Al Harris also knows that he can't leave Dallas in the same job and go to the Commanders. He would have to get promoted. So when he says he would be, what he's basically saying is, if Dan gave me more job and more money and more prestige, I would leave. And to be honest with you, that should be something that everybody, I mean, obviously that should be an obvious.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Because remember, like, what is Al? Just his job title here is just defensive back coach, right?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of jobs that he can get that'll make more money easily.
So, passing game coordinator, the assistant defensive coordinator, like, you can do all the job titles. As long as you don't go over there under the same job title, you're good. You know what I mean? Like, hell, you can make one of these guys your assistant head coach if you wanted to, and bring them along, and then it would definitely be more money. So it's how they work it out. So I do expect to lose Joe Witt and Al Harris in the same hiring cycle. Now, I know that Joe Witt
has Dan hired his defensive coordinator yet?
No, because they're going to interview Joe Witt and Durden both Monday, but they also have no choice but to interview two people of color. because of the Rooney rules. So who's better to interview than somebody that you actually know, and you might actually have some interest in them being a DC for you. So you got to interview two people of color anyway before you interview anybody else, because you have to get the Rooney Rule interviews out the way. That's just how the NFL is set up.
Yeah, and then like, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, I'm pretty sure Al Harris wants to be in Dallas, but man, you also want opportunity. That's what you got into this for. Al Harris is a dude that doesn't need the money because he played in the league, so he got long money. So he's obviously doing this because he wants to be a head coach at some point. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's also going to go with the route that's going to get him to that point. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, I ain't gonna lie. After hearing that right there, you might actually lose Al Harris.
Oh, you're gonna lose Al Harris. Like Al Harris was very adamant, and this is another thing. Even though he is technically a Mike McCarthy guy, he can't stay with Mike, not knowing if Mike gonna have a job. It's the same thing. It's probably not even Mike. It's not that he don't like Mike McCarthy, but at the same token, like my guy, Mike McCarthy didn't get no extension. Like I got a year just like he got a year, but I know for a fact if I was to take my ass to Washington, they're in a rebuild. Like Dan Quinn got 3 to 4 years to figure that out. They're not just going to fire Dan Quinn. Like they're going to let Dan Quinn try and fix their team, because they stuck with Ron Rivera for a while. You go to Washington, you usually get about 4 or 5 years to prove yourself. Because remember, Ron Rivera
I think he only went to the playoffs one time, and then while he was there, right?
Yeah, they won a division in 2020 when Dak Prescott was hurt. That's it. He got there in 2020.
Now the only year they went to the playoffs, right?
Yeah, he got there in 2020, 2021, 2022, Yeah, they gave Ron Rivera 4 years. And they were awful for all 4 years. Even the year that they went to the playoffs, they went as an under 500 team because the NFC East was garbage. But
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, because we lost Dak Prescott. The Eagles ended up benching Carson Wentz because he was awful. The Washington was actually doing pretty decently, and then Alex Smith got hurt. Remember, Alex Smith got hurt. That's when the Taylor Heineke story happened. Then who else was it? The Giants was just sorry. There's no excuse for the Giants. They ain't had no quarterback shit going on. Giants was just awful. Matter of fact,
somebody said it's crazy. Eric B is out as OC in Washington.
That was the question I was going to ask you.
Eric B got fired.
They hired Cliff Kingsbury, so he's out. So my question to you: would you bring Eric Bieniemy here to Dallas to help with the run game or the pass game, whatever capacity he was over there in doing with Kansas City? He was with Kansas City for 5 years. He's a former first-round pick running back. He does care about the run game, and he has great play design. So even if you just brought him in as an assistant offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator, run game coordinator, I wouldn't mind bringing him in and getting his mind in there. And he's actually tough on the people that he coached. He has a very tough coaching style, but he gets results.
Yeah, it also lets me know. It also makes me feel like Washington is gonna go get one of them big quarterbacks too.
Caleb Williams, because he just got coached by Cliff Kingsbury, if I'm not mistaken. I could definitely see the Commanders trading up one spot with the Bears and getting Caleb Williams, because Caleb Williams already been vocal about not wanting to go there. And when I think about it, it makes sense for Caleb Williams. Like, they play in the damn cold, and he's an undersized quarterback. Like, a quarterback like that is not going to survive in Chicago. So, like, he has
not
playing outside. He has a better chance in Washington. Honestly, he got a better chance in Washington, because it don't get that. It get cold. It don't get that damn cold. Like, there's
Chicago and Buffalo are definitely two cities that need, like, Chicago. Sorry about that. That's my mom calling. Chicago and Buffalo are definitely two cities that need to get indoor stadiums. I don't get it.
Man, they hard headed, and I'm tripping on the damn Bears are building not the Bears, but the Buffalo Bills are building that expensive ass stadium and still ain't putting no roof on it.
Yeah, I don't understand that, bro. I don't understand how the NFL keeps allowing them to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then you got to think if you're Buffalo Bills, you'll never get the Super Bowl.
Hell no, ain't nobody finna pay $20,000 for a Super Bowl ticket and sit in a snowstorm.
Nah, nobody's doing that.
They never allowed that. Never. How you gonna have a halftime show?
Yeah, and Caleb Williams from DC too, so
I didn't know that actually. So hey, that makes a lot of sense. He said, I live 4.5 hours from Chicago. Yeah, it get cold and snowy here. My wife from Chicago, so I know. She do not miss those winters at all.
Hold up. Would you come? Get the door. It's Jordan. Hold up real quick. My daughter, man, she failed at the ball practice.
Take your time. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. What y'all think about in the chat box, Eric Bieniemy? And hey, bro, I did see your comment. I don't think getting Eric Bieniemy would be going all in. I think going all in would constitute of getting the players, right? I think if you went and got a big name running back that can help the Dallas Cowboys, that's going all in. If you went and got a Bobby Wagner or a good pro linebacker, that would be going all in. You know what I mean? But Eric Bieniemy on this offense helping Mike McCarthy. And listen, Eric Bieniemy's already been in a position where he didn't have to call plays. Like Andy Reid called the plays in Kansas City, like y'all all know. But he did help with the play design. He helped with the install. He helped, he helped with the day-to-day activities. And listen, Tyreek Hill, one of the first things he told the Washington players was that Eric Bieniemy is going to coach you hard, but take the coaching. Because he said that Eric Bieniemy changed his life. So and listen, Tyreek Hill ain't have to say none of that. But that just shows you that even though he's a tough, hard-nosed coach, like he gives a damn. Like he cares. And he cares and he gets the most out of his players. And that's all you can really ask for when it comes to an offensive coach. And he's gonna hold you accountable. I say he's gonna hold you accountable for your mistakes. And he's gonna bring some good X's and O's. So listen, the one thing I will say about Mike McCarthy, he did better as the year went on, but he needs somebody to help him modernize his offense. He needs somebody from a better coaching tree to help him understands the little minute details of how to orchestrate a modernized NFL offense. Because I like that we brought West Coast offensive principles in, but Mike McCarthy was still running Windows 5, Windows 9 shit. Like we up here with VR goggles and stuff, man. We gotta update. We gotta move past that, Mike. We still could use West Coast, but we need some West Coast principles like what the 49ers doing, like what Green Bay is doing, what Kansas City is doing. Like all those are West Coast offenses, and they all look much better than what we did.
Yeah, and something to also note is with these guys, with Kellen Moore and guys like Dan Quinn staying in the division, you're going to have to change some stuff up too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we might. That's why I wanted a fresh and a newer guy anyway, because it's like even if you ain't played with Dan Quinn, like Dan Quinn knows all these Zimmers and he knows all these dudes have been in the league forever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you need something that's new for the league in general and period. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm gonna have to slide off this real quick, man. I gotta help my daughter get in here on these crutches, man. I'm gonna try to get back on here though in a couple minutes though.
Hey, it's fine, man. We're gonna keep rocking. I appreciate you for stopping by, bro.
Yes, sir.
I see you in a little bit.
Yes, sir. Hey, I already know what it is. Never look down because stars up.
Like a motherfucker to get that job. Hey, he did. That man said he went and watched years worth of tape and stuff, and that just wasn't the case. But listen, I like Mike McCarthy and what he ended up doing for the team since he's been here. It's just the fact that some of the things he does is a little outdated. He needs to implement more motion. He needs to have a different variation of sets. He needs to have a better run scheme. So I like some of the things that Mike McCarthy has done, right? Because you can't overlook the fact that Dak Prescott became an all-pro quarterback in that system. But at the same time, it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough at the end of the day. See, back like you never left, man.
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes.
All right, let's get it then, man. So let's get it. So, hey, I never actually got your candidate. Because we talked about the fact that DC was up, but who do you want?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't have one right now, man. I don't have really a name. Um, like what I really have is like I have got because each one it's almost like a presidential race, man. Like you could almost find something positive and something negative in each candidate, man. So I just want the guy who believes in the middle linebacker position, and then I need the guy who is going to be able to use what we currently have to kind of make more, because I don't need a guy that's telling Jerry Jones we need to go get. I mean, because Jerry Jones is not going to get that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know Jerry Jones is going to hire the guy that's going to be able to say that he can get the most out of these players, and he can get the most out of these players, and he can get the most out of these players. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to come to. It's going to come to the Cowboys getting the most out of the players that are on their roster. And then we might be playing a bunch of young players next year too, because guys like Jaron Curse, I don't know if he's going to get re-signed. You know what I'm saying? LVE, they say he might retire. So a lot of nuance to this. Stephon Gilmore might not be here.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys.
Jonathan Hankins ain't been re-signed yet.
Listen, Dallas Cowboys need to go out there and spend in free agency anyway, because the truth of the matter is what we had last year was not good enough. We knew that we did not have any linebackers. We did not have any linebackers. And also, we knew we couldn't stop the run. We knew that Tony Pollard was fresh off an injury, and he probably shouldn't have been running back one. Rico Dowd, that man also has an injury history, and he nursed an ankle injury for 2 damn months. If you go back and fact check me, then the ankle injury stemmed for like 2 damn months. Then we drafted a 5'5" running back in the late rounds. Running back room was not really good. Then Terrence Steele did not give you what you paid for at the right tackle spot. Tyler Biadasz did not do much of anything in the middle of your offensive line.
Which should have been probably expected considering he's coming back on a major injury.
Man, like 4, he tore like 3-4 ligaments, bro. Like 3 or 4. He tore like 3 or 4 ligaments. Like MCL, ACL.
I know, that's what I said. Unless you think he's Adrian, the only person that's had a major surgery and come back on that same stuff is Adrian Peterson, bro. That's it. Everybody else has not been regular. You've been below regular.
Exactly. You can't even ask no folks to do that. And hey, Wes, I'm glad that Danny Savage put it like this. He said, "Bring in." I don't know if it's cause Wi-Fi going crazy or not, but I'm gonna get to this point. But I'm glad that you put this like this, bro.
Internet bad, bro. It got my internet bad, bro.
You good, bro? But I was gonna say in regards to this right here, he said, "Bring in Wagner and Queen." I'm glad he said Wagner and Queen, because Patrick Queen is not no middle linebacker. And if you look at Patrick Queen's, if you look at Patrick Queen's resume, he was god awful the first 2 years in the NFL, and then when he got Roquan Smith, his level of play picked up, because that man graded out with failing grades. F jumped up to C's and B's. Right, the moment he got Roquan Smith, who could be the real true middle linebacker, so they could play him. They could play him wheel strong, off ball, see ball, get ball, blitz him, do all those things that made him special. I don't want to just go all in on Patrick Queen if we don't have a Roquan Smith kind of linebacker on this team to pair with him. So you can get Patrick Queen, but you need a real middle linebacker if you get Patrick Queen. That's all I'm gonna say. It can't just be Patrick Queen. You need to have another true middle linebacker to complement what he does. Because look, Patrick Queen, we talk about undersized linebacker. He's an undersized linebacker. He ain't gonna come here. He ain't gonna come here and stop the run by his damn self.
And without good defensive tackle play, you're gonna be more. You're gonna see more injuries too.
And facts. And listen, this is not a shot at Patrick Queen. I still want him. I'm just saying that y'all need to have more than Patrick Queen on this team before I say the Dallas Cowboys did something to help the linebacker room, because you need multiple linebackers. You need multiple of them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell y'all something like this. The thing about Queen too is Queen is played with an all-pro middle linebacker. It's gonna be hard for him to just be if we don't go get someone to pair him with. He know his job gonna be harder. It'll be very, very easy for him to re-sign in Baltimore, knowing that what he's going to be playing with beside him. You know what I'm saying? So Cowboys got to understand that too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys might not want to come because of the responsibility you're going to have when you get to Dallas.
Facts. And I'm gonna throw this out there. He said it's gonna be one or the other. They're not doing both with Overshown, and that's the problem. Like the Dallas Cowboy front office is probably gonna sell everybody on Overshown coming in here and making an impact. They're gonna throw Overshown's name out there because he's liked amongst the fan base and say that he's gonna be a solution at the linebacker position when we don't even know that's fact. This is gonna technically be his rookie year because he never took a defensive snap in the regular season last year. He's going to technically be a rookie. So I can't depend on a rookie outside linebacker to come in here and fill that role. Like even with Bobby Wagner, they're still going to be asking a lot of that boy to do that. You know what I mean? They're still going to be asking a lot. Now,
especially off a major injury. Now, I think Bobby Wagner would help him because he's going to be a good mentor. He's been an all-pro for forever. First ballot Hall of Fame, in my opinion. But just because he's going to be over there soaking up game doesn't mean he can go play the position for him either. He's going to help him in his growth, but it doesn't mean that he's going to go out there and perform and be ready. Yeah, and but I mean, that's what these other teams do, though, man. It's called the mentor process. You know what I'm saying? These other teams get, that's what they do. They get these other wide receivers, and then they'll have an older wide receiver that mentors them. You know what I'm saying? Or they do the same thing with the linebacker. I mean, look what the Green Bay do with the quarterbacks. Even though some of them quarterbacks didn't even want to be mentored, but guess what? They allowed them to still be mentors because they was in the building with them when they were learning this stuff. So the Cowboys, it's hard to build a dynasty, with babies. You know what I'm saying? You build a dynasty with as people get older, they get to know each other. And at some point, you need people on older contracts so you can get younger people on more expensive contracts. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl teams are usually a healthy mix of older players and newer players. We typically have a bunch of one. We're either the youngest team in the NFL or the oldest. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need a healthy blend of both.
And to piggyback on what Wes said, the Dallas Cowboys were the second youngest team in the National Football League this year.
And look where he got. You had no look. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, because you got to think about it. Oh, who was starting for us? Who was starting?
That's the only way you're gonna have a cheap team in the NFL. You're either gonna have a bunch of kids or a bunch of old people.
Yeah, because think about it. Everybody is still on their rookie deal. Like Micah's on his rookie deal, CD's on his rookie deal, Tyler Biada's on his rookie deal, Tyler Smith on his rookie deal. Tony Pollard is still fairly young. If he was a first round pick, he would have still been on his rookie deal. Oh shit, we had DeRon Bland. He's only in year 3 going forward. This is upcoming season. So yeah, we had a bunch of young cats out there contributing for the Dallas Cowboys. He said, we cannot have LBE or Clark mentoring our linebackers. Hell no. Nah. Yeah, not. I want somebody to teach them good habits. I want somebody to teach them good habits. And right now, LBE, at one point he was a physical linebacker, but you only got one neck, in the words of West Coast Cowboys. So, I get it why some of that physicality has waned over the years. But at the same time, if you can't do the job, you might have to move around, kinfolk. You can't be a linebacker ducking smoke.
I mean, that's why like I said, man, that's like the selling point. Like when you ask me about my candidate, my number one candidate is a dude who believes in actually having a middle linebacker on the field. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if you don't, where's your defense getting direction from? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'll even deal with one I can't deal with one we need a middle linebacker on that defense, man. And to be honest with you, Mike, if you're the defensive coordinator, who are you talking to the whole game? Like, who do you talk to the whole game? You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't know.
Like, there's no way you're talking to a corner all game.
Hell nah. I mean, in Dan Quinn case, it was probably J. Ron Kersey's. He was hollering at the whole damn game, since that who had the green dot for a long ass time. Speaking of one of the candidates, Wink Martindale, this is his numbers before he went to the Giants. Now remember, the Giants were awful. They were awful, but when Wink had a defense with the Ravens, when he had personnel, they were good. So I'm gonna say this: I don't think Wink Martindale can elevate talent, but I think that Wink Martindale can coordinate when he has good talent on the team. And outside of the linebacker room, the Dallas Cowboys have good talent. We need like a couple linebackers and a DT, and I'll be happy with the defense. You know what I mean? But these are the numbers by year. Points per game. 2018 they were second. 19 they were third. 2020 they were second. And then 2021, the year he got fired, they were awful. They were 19th. Yard per game. First, fourth, seventh, to 25th. So it looks like his defenses got progressively worse while he was there. 2018 yards per game, 5th, 6th, 6th, 32nd. Rushing yards per game, 4th, 5th, 8th, and then 1st. So, hey, I say this much: he had a top 10 rushing defense every year he was there. Everything else went down the drain, but they were still able to stop the run. So that's just a little insight on hey, this is a little insight on Wink. And to be honest with y'all, man, I'm not up here to politic or try to sell y'all one way or the other on any of these candidates. Because truth of the matter is, if I had my way, I'm not sure I would hire either one of them. Like really, like if I could get anybody, it'd probably be the same kind of people I said don't want to come to Dallas. It'd be a young, up and coming DC with a good mind that's already seen these new spangled offenses. It'll be somebody that's already done coached against the Shanahan tree and had success. It'll be somebody that's already done went toe to toe with the Mike McDaniels and the LaFleurs and them and has success. So one of those candidates don't want to come to Dallas. You know, I already outlined the reasons why. Like you don't come to Dallas when there's only a 1 year promised. Hell, if Mike McCarthy is bad to start the year, if the Dallas Cowboys,
they can fire him halfway through the season.
Yeah, they can fire him halfway through the season. Cause we've seen it happen before. We've seen that shit happen before. So
yep.
There's no promises. So that's why you won't get one of those.
Yeah, I hate, and it's like, bro, and you know the thing that sucks too is they're basically telling Mike McCarthy win a Super Bowl or lose your job, and it's like, yeah, fans be like, yeah, we want to hear that, but that don't always work out well, bro. That don't always work out well, bro.
Yeah, that shit is not realistic at all, bro. At all. What's up, Jackie Smith? Miss Regina Green says she wants Zimmer. Now listen, there are good things to like about all the candidates. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look close enough, there are things to like Mike Zimmer when he was a defensive coordinator, and even in with Minnesota, he would like Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy calls his own offense. Mike Zimmer called his own defenses. So I can show y'all numbers for when he was doing that, right? And you see right here, these are his numbers for the last couple of years. He's been out the league since 2021, so he missed the last 2 seasons. But from 2011 to 2018, he had 6. He had 6 seasons of producing a top 10 defense in terms of yardage, and then 8 seasons of producing a top 10 defense in terms of points, as a play caller. Now in 2020 and 2021, shit came off the railings. They were a bad defense. Like it was bad. 29th in points, 24th in points. They weren't winning a bunch of games, so of course he'd end up losing his job. But he has a good track record. And I'm going from the standpoint of we have better talent than what they had. Like they didn't have a Michael Parsons, they didn't have a Trayvon Diggs, they damn sure didn't have a DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? So like I think overall the Dallas Cowboys talent was better than what they fielded for him in Minnesota. Now linebackers, we haven't had linebackers in a very long time, so I'm not going to touch on that position. But if get the man a couple linebackers.
Hey, but I want to say something.
Go ahead.
I want to touch on something before I get out of here, though. Listen, people keep saying that like stuff like, oh, I wouldn't be surprised if we got this coach and then Mike McCarthy got fired or he lost his job and then he became the coach. Like, bro, you know that means we're going to be unsuccessful this year then. You know how long you want to? You guys are just willing to throw away a whole year to get a coach out? I can't do that, man. I want McCarthy to win it this year.
Real talk.
Hey, my internet's going out. You froze again. Hey, man, I love you, man. I'm gonna see y'all in the morning. You guys already know what it is. Hey, just make sure y'all stay on here and stay live, man. I think it just unfroze right now. All right, make sure y'all stay. We having California bad weather, but I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all continue to share and love. You already know what it is. I'll be out. Peace.
All right, love you too, cuz. I'm gonna holler at you. All right, man. So yeah, the internet over there hating West out, but we gonna keep rocking for a while, man. He said, I don't want Riverboat Run, and that's really where we're at with this shit right now, man. Like, I do not want Ron Rivera. Ron Rivera is the last dude that I want. No, out of all the possible candidates, Ron Rivera is the one that I want the least. Because remember, he did take over play calling duty for the Commanders, and the Commanders gave up damn near like 35, 34 points per game in those 5 games that he took the play calling duty back from. So Ron Rivera is at the very bottom of the barrel for me. Because remember, all these guys that we're talking about are guys that we have to settle for given the situation that Mike McCarthy is in. Given the fact that they were not willing to extend him. So because you did not extend him, you will not be able to attract young guys that need time to come over here, develop, and make a name for themselves. So you're going to get coaches on their 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th job trying to get their foot back in the door in the NFL. And it just is what it is. Said Run just a Rooney bring in guy because he's Hispanic. He definitely ain't. Yeah, Ron Rivera, I believe is. I think somebody actually told me that too. Somebody actually did say that to me. Said I take blitzing Wink. I like Wink Martindale too. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are flaws. There's flaws in everybody. He said HTM doesn't block me and he comes with facts to humble me. HTM gonna go far. Thank you for the love, B Fatty. I appreciate you, my brother. Said, can Dak be signed and traded? If Dak agrees to it. Dak Prescott can be traded as long as he agrees to be traded. Odds of that happening are very slim. He likes it in Dallas, so I don't think that he'll do a sign and trade. Like 9 times out of 10, Dak Prescott is just going to get an extension. If Zimmer gets the job and Mike gets fired, he can step in and be head coach. That's a viable option. I just want a middle linebacker. I want a middle linebacker too. So let me ask y'all, man, because we touched on the DCs so far. What are y'all thoughts in regards to pick number 24? Hey, anytime, Roberto. Anytime, bro. So what are y'all thoughts about pick number 24? And I bring this up because there are 2 things. 2 of the positions that the Dallas Cowboys really need, running back and linebacker, there are not a single player in this year's draft from the running back class or the linebacker class that has a 1st round grade. There's not a single linebacker with a top 32 grade. There's not a single running back with a top 32 grade. So every running back and every linebacker either grades out as a 2nd round pick or a 3rd round pick, right? So because those guys are not there, because there's not a running back or a linebacker that's supposed to be drafted in the 1st round, would you then trade back? Would you trade your top 24 pick for another 2nd round pick and just get them then? Right? Because if you trade out of the 1st round entirely, you can get multiple picks for that 1st round pick to move into the 2nd round. Then you'll be able to get that running back and that linebacker, and get some spare picks. Because remember, the Dallas Cowboys do not have a bunch of picks right now. Remember, we traded away 2 5th round picks to get Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. We traded away a 4th round pick to get Trey Lance. So I'm not usually a trade down guy, but that is a viable scenario right there. There's a very viable scenario to trade back down if there's nobody there that you want. Now, if you stay in place, right? If you stay in place at pick 24, you need to stay in place for either one of these offensive linemen. There are some good offensive linemen with first round grades on them that could possibly be there at 24. I do not think that the center is going to fall that far. He's the only first round graded center in this year's draft, if I'm not mistaken. Said your all pro centers in this draft. Yeah, so like the one that I really like, and that is true. Like you can have a fire ass combine and it will move some people. But my thing is, I try not to get moved off by the combine because everybody's fast, everybody's strong. You know, like a lot of times, like the actual game tape supersedes what the combine. You really need to be using the combine to verify some of the things that you've seen on tape. If you look at a guy and he looks fast as hell on tape, and he goes out there and runs a 4.4 or a 4.3 at the combine, then that's cool. That's you just confirmed what you know about that player because you watch tape and it showed that he has good game speed. But I wouldn't use the combine to turn a third round pick into a first round pick or anything like that. You know, I wouldn't use the combine to do that. I just use the combine to verify some of the things that's already seen from the tape and from the scouting reports. So that's true. A lot of people will be overhyped after the combine happens, right? Somebody that they didn't think was that fast is going to run a 4.3, right? Somebody that they didn't think that was that strong is going to go out there and bench press 240 or 225 pounds 30 times or some crazy shit like that. Said, I honestly think this organization is doomed. It's sad, bro. Owners mentality, culture. I hate this. Listen, Boss Cowboy has talked immensely about the culture around Dallas. It is a very Hollywood atmosphere. It is. But you will have to try and get some guys in here who can go out there and change the culture. You need to try to get somebody in here that could be the change within the culture. Trey Fargo, quit playing with me, bro. I ain't never called that man Barry Sanders. I call that man Black Jesus. You got to get it right. You gonna quote me. And I was wrong about that too. Yeah, there's not a linebacker or a running back in the first round. So you know that's why I'm really down for You see, I don't buy into all the scouting reports. I like the film more, and that's fair. And that's fair. Like the film, especially when it comes to college kids, trumps everything. Film trumps the scouting report. Film trumps the combine. Willie T, I definitely agree with you on that, bro. He said he about the size of Don Julio bottle. Y'all gotta stop this stuff, man. You got this man out here catching strays. And hopefully we can incorporate the 4.2 toss, man. That's sad though. And listen, there are some good running backs in this year's draft. They're just not deserving of a first round pick. They're just not deserving of a first round pick. He said Guyton had a horrible ass week for the Senior Bowl. I didn't watch the Senior Bowl. Was he that bad, Darnell? Was he that bad? But yeah, there's some good running backs in this class, man. The boy out of Oregon, right? That's one name that comes to mind. Allstick out of Notre Dame. He's a damn good running back in my opinion. Willie T, you want to put a friendly wager on it? He believes there'll be 2 linebackers. Want to put a friendly wager on it? And remember, I'm not counting pass rushers. If there's somebody that's an outside linebacker / edge, I'm not counting them. I'm just talking about traditional linebackers. The boy from Alabama is probably gonna go in the first round because he's an edge. But you know, like traditional inside linebackers, I don't see one going in the first round. Yeah, Trey Benson, Audric Islam, Braylon Allen. Braylon Allen is huge. That's really what I like about him. And Frank Gore Jr. was the MVP out there at the Shrine Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like he was the MVP of the Shrine Bowl. I like him. Now he's slightly undersized, But he's like 5'8", something like that, almost 200 pounds. He's not undersized like a Deuce Vaughn. So, and we know his background, we know who his daddy was. So he's a second generation NFL player. Probably been getting some impeccable coaching from his old man. So I wouldn't mind getting him. And it wouldn't cost you a high draft pick to get him at all. Like if I'm not mistaken, Frank Gore Jr. grades out of like a 4th or a 5th round pick or something like that. Let me see. Now he can definitely help his draft stock at the combine if he's faster than people think. Let me see what they got my boy at, because I really like Frank Gore Jr. too. I like him. I like Ray Davis from Kansas. Kentucky. I like Braylon Allen that y'all mentioned, because a 6'2" running back is hard to come by. A 6'2" good running back is hard to come by, I should say. All right, so they got my boy. Let me see what they got him listed as. Yeah, see, they got Frank Gore Jr. with a 6th round grade, bro. Yeah, they got Frank Gore Jr. with a 6th round grade. You can definitely get him. Old as hell, huh? Willie T, that's touching, man. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, I appreciate that, brother. And listen, he'll probably go higher than that. I'm sure he'll put on a good combine, and he'll improve his grade. And there will be people that can improve their draft stock by a couple of spots, right? But I just personally wouldn't make a dude. I just personally wouldn't make a dude a 1st round pick, and I had a 3rd or 4th round grade on them just based off the combine. You know what I mean? Now Trey Fargo, Isaiah Pacheco is a 7th round pick. You can draft a running back in the 6th round. You just can't draft a running back in the 6th round that's 5'5" and under 200 pounds and only runs like a 4.6. You know what I mean? Like you can draft a running back in the 6th, 7th round or whatever and get production. You just can't draft one of the smallest ones out there. You just can't draft a 5'5" guy and tell him to go out there and try to do something. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like you probably could get a good running back in the 5th, 4th, 6th round. You just can't get no undersized ass running back like we did. And that was on us. Honestly. Listen, Trey. We be up here begging the front office. We be out here begging the front office to do the right thing most of the time, man. We begged them not to get a tight end early in the draft. We begged them to get a running back because this last draft was one of the deepest running back classes in years. We asked for a bunch of stuff that they did not do for us, bro. We be out here trying to, man. We be out here trying to. They don't listen to us though, man. Rico Jones, what's up with you, man? Thank you for tapping in and showing love to the content, bro. They damn sure forced it. Corum has too much mileage on those legs. Well, listen. The way I'm looking at the running back room this year, I'm looking for a running back to pair with a veteran running back. Because I've already seen that the Dallas Cowboys have no intention of making a singular running back a bell cow anymore. They've moved on from the singular running back system. They want 2 guys that can go out there and get you production. So I'm just looking for a running back to pair with a Derrick Henry, to pair with a Saquon Barkley, to pair with a veteran running back. Like the Dallas Cowboys, in order for me to feel like they can be successful this year, they have to get a veteran running back that can be a game changer and a difference maker, especially in the postseason. Like Derrick Henry may not be the best running back in the world anymore, right? He may not be the best running back in the world anymore, but he was still a better runner of the football than what Tony Pollard was last year, right? He was a more efficient runner of the football than Tony Pollard was. Had more rushing touchdowns, had more yardage, right? And if you get a Josh Jacobs who's younger, who's the top end of those free agent running backs, then dog, like you're doing amazing at that point. It said I ain't fall for a pipe dream, because remember, I'm going to tell y'all what the Dallas Cowboys should do. I'm going to tell y'all every time I come on here what the Dallas Cowboys should do. And if they don't do it, that's not on me, bro. I promise y'all I'm doing everything in the world to come on here and preach the right shit to y'all. I'm doing everything in the world to come on here and preach the right shit to y'all. The Dallas Cowboys probably ain't going to do it. But I'm telling y'all now, that's what they need to do to be successful in the 2024 season. Because if they don't, and they try to sell you on Deuce Vaughn, or they try to sell you on Rico Dow in an expanded role, or they try to sell you on a rookie running back by himself, I just can't get jiggy with that. I can't get jiggy with that, man. In my opinion, the Dallas Cowboys have to go in. And because the Dallas Cowboys fan base is dragging them, we've been dragging their ass since we lost. Since the Dallas Cowboys fan base is openly out for blood at this moment, I believe they will make at least one decent free agent signing to try to appease the masses. So do I believe all in? No. I don't particularly believe that the Dallas Cowboys will go all in. But what I do believe that they will do, at least they won't do my version of all in, but what I do believe that they will do is they're going to sign guys who have names and are getting close to being over the hill. I believe they will sign older veteran players like they've been signing older veteran players. Remember, they went out and got Anthony Barr, who was a good linebacker at one point. He just wasn't Anthony Barr by the time they got him. They went out and got Brandon Cooks. He just wasn't the same Brandon Cooks that was playing in Super Bowls. They went out and got Stephon Gilmore. He just wasn't the same Stephon Gilmore who was the Defensive Player of the Year. So the Dallas Cowboys, what they're going to do, they're probably going to continue to sign those older guys with the names on, with the names attached to them, make us feel a little bit better. And they'll probably have one signing that's out of the norm. They might sign one. It said it's embarrassing when the fan bases is all in, but the owners are just talk. I know, bro. It's sad, but we got to push through it. So yeah, so I think that they'll sign the regular marshals, in the words of Boss Cowboy, that he coined that phrase, marshals, and then they'll probably sign one guy that breaks that trend. So that you might get one guy, you might get a Derrick Henry, and listen, Derrick Henry at this point might be in that mode because he's a 30-year-old running back, right? Because Derrick Henry is a 30-year-old running back, so he fits that mold of the kind of player that they don't mind signing, right? So Derrick Henry is actually a realistic choice for the Dallas Cowboys because he's 30. He's 30 years old with a bunch of mileage on his body, so he does fit the mold of the Dallas Cowboys right now, right? So yeah, I think they'll sign some names. But the thing is, there are still guys with names that are better than what we currently have. Bobby Wagner, he's old. You know, he's almost 34 years old, but he's still an all-pro linebacker. So I wouldn't mind them giving Bobby Wagner a year or 2-year deal to be in Dallas and finish out his career. Right? Because he's still better than every linebacker that you have, and that's the step in the right direction, right? I would sign somebody, Calvin Ridley. Dallas Cowboys wouldn't sign Calvin Ridley because they have not paid CeeDee Lamb yet. And Calvin Ridley is an all-pro. He's an all-pro wide receiver who has never been paid in the NFL yet. So really, this might be Calvin Ridley's only opportunity to get a lucrative deal because he himself is already almost 30 years old. Exactly. I know, Willie T. I know we don't have any real linebackers. We got Damone Clark, and we may not even have Leighton Vander Esch because there's no telling how severe that injury was for him. Leighton Vander Esch might be on his way out the door, never to be seen again. Never to be seen again. So you never know with that. Willie T. Bobby Wagner was an all-pro this year, though. Like they did, he was literally 180 tackle all pro linebacker, not pro bowler. He was 180 tackle all pro linebacker. So, that's saying a lot. Bobby Wagner was better than most linebackers in the National Football League. Like they felt that Bobby Wagner was a top 5 linebacker this year. He's really been a top 5 linebacker the last 3 years because he made all pro selections the last 3 years. Henny, why would people want to draft a running back when Derek is better than any back coming out? Because you need more than one running back. Tony Pollard's gone. Rico Dowdle is gone. So you need more than one running back. I mean, I'm not trying to see Deuce Vaughn get 10 carries a game just because we didn't draft a running back, right? Because somebody else got to get carries outside of Derrick Henry too. So Derrick Henry, I still want him, but you still need to pair Derrick Henry with somebody else. Calvin really has an All-Pro on his resume. He didn't make an All-Pro this year, but he's an All-Pro wide receiver. He made an All-Pro selection while he was on his rookie deal. So he's going to want to get enumerated. And this is another thing to point out. Calvin Ridley is almost the same age as Amari Cooper. Like Calvin Ridley is 29 years old, finna be 30. He's not a young guy, even though he's still on a rookie, is coming off a rookie deal. Like he got started late. He came out late, got started late. Like he was an older rookie when he came into the National Football League. So he's an older guy that's going to need his money. He's never been paid. Everything he's done so far in the NFL has been on a rookie contract. So he's going to try and parlay everything that he's done to get a contract coming up. So I'm talking about drafting one early. Oh, there's no running back to draft early anyway, bro. That's disregard that. There's no reason to even worry about drafting one early because there's not a running back to draft early. The Overshown is another guy who I feel could help. I remember coming into preseason. He got paid from the mob, man. He done lost a bit of that money fooling around with the NFL. The NFL is the damn mob, bro. What we talking about? Yeah, the NFL is the real mob. The NFL is the real mob, bro. Yeah, Rico has to be signed back. Rico Dowdle is going to be a free agent. Tony Pollard is going to be a free agent. So the only real running backs that you got on your roster are Malik Davis, Deuce Vaughn, and then I'm not going to count Hunter Lukey because he signed on as a fullback. But yeah, Calvin Ridley is going to try to get paid because there's no guarantee that Calvin Ridley will ever get paid again if he don't get paid right now. Like this is his only shot. This is his only shot, bro, to get enumerated in the NFL. Really, as crazy as that sounds, this is really it for him. They're gonna bring Pollard back. If you brought Tony Pollard back, I still want you to sign a Derrick Henry, a Saquon Barkley. I like Tony Pollard. I just know for a fact that he is not no running back one. He just is not a running back one. So put Tony Pollard back in the position that made us fall in love with him. When Tony Pollard was running back 2, he was a Pro Bowler. He was a Pro Bowler when he was running back 2. Said Darnell Lamar, Henny, do you see the Cowboys using the franchise tag? And if so, on who? There's nobody the franchise tag this year, thank God. Micah's under contract. CD Lamb's under contract. Dak can't get franchise tag. He's in his contract. There's nobody you can tag. Yeah, there's nobody that you can tag, really. I bring Zeke back because apparently it's not as easy as people made it seem, right? To score from the 1 yard line. Because we damn sure didn't do it all year. So shit. He was doing something right to get those 12 touchdowns. So hell, if y'all want to bring Zeke back for a couple dollars, do it. I don't give a damn. Whoever you bring back, I want to pair them with a better running back though. If you bring Zeke back, I want to pair him with, a Derrick Henry, Saquon, Josh Jacobs, one of those upper echelon running backs. If you bring Tony Pollard back, do the same damn thing. Like, for real. Because listen, running back 2 ain't gonna do shit for me anyway. Running back 2 is gonna be a change of pace back or a short yardage back or whatever. Like, I do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, end of the day, I need one of those upper echelon running backs before we're concerned with anybody. Go and get me Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs or somebody. And then I'll worry about who running back 2 will be later. But that's the priority right there. That's the priority. To get a real center, man, listen, that's hard to do. Because there's not really too many good centers in the National Football League. There's really not a lot of great centers, especially ain't going to be a bunch of great centers hitting the open market. If you're a great center and you're healthy, your team throws you the bag, because that's a very important position along the offensive line. Said bring Julius Jones back too while we at it. Y'all gotta quit playing all day. Y'all just out here playing on the internet. He said we need to look at defensive end too. D-Law getting up in age, and Micah needs to be at linebacker. We'll get a defensive end eventually. You know, when you're rebuilding your team, you need to go draft by draft. Like, this is a year that you probably want to go ahead and fill out some other holes when you go get a DN. You fill your need at linebacker in free agency. But I don't know, if one falls to us and that we can develop, I don't mind. Because really, if you stay at 24, you're really gonna probably be drafting BPA anyway. That far into the first round, you're going best player available. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got a defensive end with the first round pick. I wouldn't be surprised if they got an offensive lineman with the first round pick. I wouldn't even be surprised if they got a wide receiver with the first round pick. Because when you're at 24, you're not trying to move up or move back. You really just need to go BPA by need. So if there's nothing there that you actually need, you can just flat out get the best player available to you. Do you think the Cowboys are going to make the right hire at DC? Shit, probably not. Probably not, because remember, I already done contextualized this. None of these guys that they're going to bring in for interviews are my first choices. Not a single one of them. But regardless of who they hire, I can make stupid smart. Right? I can find a way to make some shit work. Real talk. Like, there are good things about Mike Zimmer. There's some good things about Wink Martindale. You know, there's even some good things about signing Joe Witt to be the defensive coordinator. Like, I could find good things that all these dudes do outside of really Ron Rivera, and even he somebody that's good with linebackers. He said keep Schrader on your radar, folks. But by round 2, offensive tackle is washed. We might get lucky in round 2, though. I want Xavier Leggett with some coaching and help with his routes. He can be a dog. Yeah, letting Zeke walk and then not having a viable option was stupid. Now, see, when I said let Zeke walk, I thought they were going to go get a running back in the draft. I thought they were going to go get a Jahmyr Gibbs or go get a Charbonnet. I thought they were going to do something. But they didn't do that. They didn't get a real replacement for Ezekiel Elliott. They just told Rico Dowell and Malik Davis to fight for that shit. Oh, so Joe Witt's not even gonna do the interview tomorrow. Joe Witt, yeah, it's official. Joe Witt has signed to be the defensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. So salute to him. All right, so Joe Witt is off the board. Yep. So hey, that's cool. That works out fine. Now we know it's either going to be, it's either going to be Zimmer, it's either going to be Ron Rivera, Wink Martindale, Durden. I don't think Durden even got a real shot of getting the job, if we're being honest. Said, how do you hate to use justify paying Pollard Saquon money? Honestly, man, yeah, I just seen it, short dog. I just seen it on here on Twitter. I seen Cuz came in here and said something about us. That's why I went ahead and looked to verify it. So yeah, it does look like Joe Witt went ahead and signed. Yep, he's a lock. Said go ahead and hire Zimmer now. Yeah, got to make the best out of it. But best of luck to Joe Witt though, man. Best of luck to him. Except for when they play us. When they play us, I hope that we terrorize them and they give up 40, 50 points. But outside of that, best of luck to them. I knew they was not going to hire a black defensive coordinator. Hey, it hasn't happened yet, has it though, Willie T? Damn sure it hasn't happened yet. I think Saquon would be a good pickup for the Dallas Cowboys, because I think we might be able to. I think we might be able to keep him healthy. That's one of the few saving graces. Said, yeah, Henny, you was killing DQ. I don't want to hear it next year when the defense worse. Shit, we shouldn't be worse. Matter of fact, your defense might be slightly better in some categories, right? In some categories, your defense is probably going to be better. Because listen, the defense has already been coached. Dan Quinn already done coached these boys up for years. It's not like because he left out the room, they just gonna suddenly lose their talent. Michael Parsons is still gonna be an All-Pro. Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland are still gonna be All-Pros. If you get a new DC in here and you get him some real linebackers, I'm pretty sure they'll be fine. Nah, Dallas Cowboys have never been proactive. Listen, short dog, you see the way that we handle contracts. We end up bidding against our damn selves when we do contract with these players. So we're not proactive, bro. We never been proactive. If the Dallas Cowboys were proactive, they would have got the Dak Prescott deal done the first time he came up. If the Dallas Cowboys were proactive, DeMarcus Lawrence would not have had to threaten sitting out by getting surgery to get his money. Zach Martin would not have had to threaten to sit out to get his money if the Dallas Cowboys were a proactive franchise. It just is what it is. Nelly Rogers, what's up, man? He said, how you feel about Mike Vrabel? Mike Vrabel is a name that is a good name. Because one, Mike Vrabel would not be scared of only being here for 1 year, because Mike Vrabel really only wants to be here for 1 year anyway. Mike Vrabel does not want to be a long-time defensive coordinator. He wants to come in here, coordinate a great defense, help the Dallas Cowboys get as far as humanly possible in the playoffs, and he's going to try to pack his bags and be on the first thing smoking to be a head coach by 2025. So Mike Vrabel would make sense for the 1 year approach, because regardless if Mike McCarthy keeps his job or not, Mike Vrabel wouldn't be here trying to stay long-term anyway. I have no news on Al Harris just yet. I just now confirmed the stuff. Yeah, I just now confirmed the stuff about Joe Witt. It's official. Ian Rappaport reported that. Yeah, Danny Savage, we just talked about it. Yeah, we just talked about that, bro. Said promote Al Harris now. Remember, Al Harris can still leave, because he can be an assistant offensive coordinator. He can be the passing game coordinator over there. He can be an assistant head coach. They can still promote Al Harris and get him out and take his ass too. You know what I mean? And I keep going back to this. Like, I like Al Harris and what he's done for the defensive back room. but he
was to go and get a head coaching job. Honestly, in whatever capacity he wanted me to come, I'm there. I'm there. It could be in Alaska. He could be coaching the Alaskan Bluebirds and call me, Al, I need you. I'm there.
Wow.
So again, Al Harris wants to die beside Dan Quinn's side. He wanna hold hands and walk off with Dan Quinn to the sunset. So, you know, I'm not even sure Al Harris is really interested in being in Dallas. Now, it would be dope if he could become the first DC of his ilk in Dallas, but you know, it don't seem like he wants to be here. And remember, they can still give him. He said, "Now, Hen, why you do that like that? I thought my phone changed the video." And remember, Jamie and Cal, you are correct, because all the other stuff was done by Dan Quinn and Joe Witt. I wouldn't want to stay in Dan Quinn's shadow. Hey, he loved Dan Quinn. I don't know. It is what it is. He said, "What has Witt done?" Witt did more. Witt did more than Al Harris for sure. You know what I mean? But you know, like neither one of them guys were my first choice. But you know, Joe Witt was supposedly calling the third down defense, so he does have a little bit of play calling experience. He was helping Dan Quinn in the day-to-day install and being hands-on with the players. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, this will be his first gig as defensive coordinator. Now, he's been a secondary coach and a pass game coordinator for multiple teams. But you know, more power to him though, man. I'm happy for him. He said, "I clicked off to find Henny." I'm sorry, Eddie. Everywhere Witt go, the defense gets turnovers. Okay. Say, "Give me Zimmer or Vrabel." I mean, listen. If we gotta have a gun to our heads and pick from the selection that they give us, then shit, give me Vrabel or give me Wink Martindale or Zimmer. You know, those are better options than Ron Rivera. If we come out of these interviews and Ron Rivera is the defensive coordinator that they're trying to give the job to, I'm done. I mean, not done making content or no shit. I'm just done believing in the Dallas Cowboys in the 2024 season. I just don't see it if that's the case. He said Allen and Payne about to stunt all game. Shit, that shit rhyme, boy. He said there's really definitely something wrong inside the organization. We been knew that. From the results we got, we been knew that. Zimmer is the guy. He makes most sense. You make 4-3 pieces. You may as well make it work with that you have. He said, Trey be going crazy. He said, ain't going to be at safety. Nah, they going to ask Payne to lose 40 pounds, man. They going to ask Payne to lose 40 pounds. He going to be out that mud playing up. He going to be out that mud playing linebacker. He going to be out that mud playing linebacker. But yeah, man, we've been on here for an hour and some change, man. I just wanted to bring y'all my thoughts on some of the things going on. We talked about defensive coordinators. We lightly touched on the possibility of bringing Bieniemy in to help with the offense. We talked about pick number 24. So I think we had a nice little talk over here, man. But on y'all way out, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that share button. Make sure y'all slap the dog shit out of a Commanders fan. Make sure y'all hit that Cash App or that Super Chat to help keep the lights on. And we will be back live tomorrow together at about well, no. I gotta find out what landlord's schedule is. We're gonna try to get Cowboys Uncut going tomorrow. I gotta find out Ken Folks' schedule. So yeah, man. Thank y'all for everything. Thank y'all for the love and support. And I will see y'all sometime tomorrow, man. Peace. God.